Okay. Om Shuklam Bharadram Vishnum Sasivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasanna Dhyayet Sarva Vignopashante Yasyatma Bhutasya Guru Prasadat Aham Vimuktoshmi Sharira Vandat Sarvopadeshtu Purushottamasya Tasangre Padma Pranatosmi Nityam Prahlada Narada Parasara Pundarika Vyasamrisha Sukha Saunaka Bhishma Dhalbhyan Rukmanga Udava Vibhishna Palgunadin Punyaniman Parama Bhagavatam Namami Janmadi Asya Yato Anvaya Idara Sarcha Arteshu Abhijna Swarat Tene Brahma Adi Havaye Mukhyantiyaha Suraya Tene Brahma Hridaya Adi Havaye Mukhyantiyaha Suraya Tejo Varimritam Vinimayo Yatra Sargo Amrasa Dhamna Svena Sada Nirastakoham Satyam Param Dhimahi Dharma Prochita Kaitrava Atra Paramo Nirmasaranam Satam Vedyam Vastavam Atra Vastu Sivadam Tapatrayo Molanam Srimad Bhagavate Maha Munikrit Kamva Parairishwaraha Sadyo Hridi Avarudyate Atra Kritibihi Shushru Shubhi Shakshanat Nihama Kalpataror Galitam Phalam Sukhamukad Amritam Dhruva Samyuttam Vipada Bhagavatam Rasamalaya Murao Rasika Bhuvi Bhavukaha Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Shaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tado Jayamudirayeet Nashtaprayeshu Avadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhavati Uttamasloke Bhakti Bhavati Naishtaki Vasudeve Bhavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojitah Janayati Asu Vairagyam Jnanam Jayat Ahaitukam Shunvatam Swakata Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtanaha Hridayantasto hi abhadrani vibudnoti shuhrit satam Vasudheva Paraveda Vasudheva Paratmaka Vasudeva Parayoga Vasudeva Parakriya Vasudeva Parajnanam Vasudeva Paramtapah Vasudeva Paro Dharma Vasudeva Paragatihi Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devakinandanaya cha Nandagopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Nama Sankirtanam Yasya Sarva Papa Pranashanam Pranamadukkha Samanastam Namami Harim Param Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai Hare Krishna Namaste. In the last session, we completed the Bali Maharaj Charitra, where we learned a lot of very potent lessons in that particular story. We'll just do a recap of those as bullet points before we can continue further into Canto 8 and then entering into Canto 9. The main lessons that we learn from Bali Maharaj is completely having an understanding and leading a life in such a way that everything belongs to Krishna, everything belongs to God, and whatever we possess can be taken away at any point of time. Whoever's given those things to us has all freedom to take away whenever he wants to take it. So that's a key point lesson that we learn from Bali Maharaj. When that happened, Bali Maharaj was very happily giving. He was not in a distressful situation that things are going away from him, especially if you're in a bigger position, well recognized, have a reputation in the society, and if everything is gone one point of time, we heard many people go into a deeper depression, um, a psychological disorder, and it's their health degrades, and eventually, their lifespan reduces. That we see. Usually, it happens. Um, but in Bali Maharaj's case, he was not old person. He was quite in a good age, good health, but he was ready when everything was taken away from him. Especially when situation happens, we might get some different opinions and ideas, but one has to be able to differentiate and evaluate what is the right thing to take in that point of time. Um, there could be situation in this situation where we saw in Bali Maharaj situation, where his own guru Shukracharya gave him an advice that not to give dhana, dharma, do dharma. He said it's not good because you lose everything, irrespective of the advice coming from a right authority, which is his own guru. He rejected that and then took the other dharma. Therefore, this is how things might come in our life, where you have to choose either one. Both may be sounding right, right? Both say me sounding like this is also a right dharma, this is also a right dharma. Then which one I should take? So one should be very careful in picking up the right thing. The one that we pick up should be um, for the satisfaction of Krishna, because if that is not the criteria, then we are just compromising that main goal in our life and take everything. Bhuktaram yakyatapasam sarva loko maheshwaram sugurdam sarva bhutanam nyatvam shantim ruchati. Shantim ruchati. So in Gita, Bhagavad Gita, Krishna very clearly says that he is the well-wisher. He is the one who should be, everything should be sacrificed unto, and he should be the one who should be worshipped. Therefore, it's very clearly said, and he is a well-wisher, meaning he's a good friend of all the living entities. Therefore, with that idea, Bali Maharaj understood what is dharma, what is the real dharma that one has to do. Therefore, he said, the promise that I have given, I'm not going to go back. And then, when the Lord appeared, and then he took over everything, the only thing he was said is, I don't have any qualification. It is because of my grandfather who had all the qualification that you have appeared in my life and took over everything from me. Right? And when the Lord asked for three steps, one step was covered the entire the lower surface, and the next step he covered everything on the higher planetary system. And then the third step, there's no place, nothing was left out. Therefore, there's a question of he is not keeping up his promise. So he was arrested. Bali Maharaj was arrested. And then, since you failed your keep up your word, then you're not fit to be here. Then I'm taking away everything. But then Prahlad Maharaj came. He praised the Lord, and also Bali Maharaj himself praised the Lord. Bali Maharaj's wife came and he praised. She also praised the Lord. They all accepted. They praised the Lord, not that to escape from the punishment. Rather, they accepted whatever is happening right now. It is completely is mercy, is prashadam, is grace. Therefore, he accepted. And the Lord was very pleased. And then he gave us separate another planet called Sutala. And Sutala is much more greater and wealthier. Sometimes we have this idea the lokas means a higher planetary system, um, or fully opulent, whereas thalas means the seventh planet which is down below the Bhuloka. It's a lower planetary system. Therefore, the lower planetary system are with, not very good. It's like a hellish country. It's not true. All the 14 planetary systems are opulent. They are all good. Now, Sutala has been given. Sutala is considered to be much more greater than heavenly planet. That is what has been given to Bali Maharaj. Maybe Indra did not have information about Sutala, otherwise he would have been opted for Sutala and given the heavenly planet to Bali Maharaj. Anyway, that's just a side joke. But the Bali Maharaj was given that one. But the Bali Maharaj didn't want to move out of this place because the Lord was present. Therefore, Lord said, "Don't worry, you go there. I will also be there, present, guarding your kingdom." In that agreement, Bali Maharaj also left, and then the Supreme Lord also left. The story ends there. Any other points that you all remember or learned or realization from the story? Anyone wants to share besides what I just shared? Any other points? Okay. If there's no other points to discuss, so
Prabhuji,
that, yes.
yes, we have a question.
Yeah, see, last time we didn't have much of question time. So please open up for let's open up for questions before we get into a next interesting avatar. It is an aquatic avatar. It is the Lord takes in a different form altogether, and we'll get into that avatar now. But please ask your questions.
Prabhuji, when Bali Maharaj said that he was going to give 3 steps of land to Vamanadev, his guru Sukracharya told him that he is Vishnu and he will take over all your land. But if Sukracharya is a guru, then shouldn't he have been pleased that Lord Vishnu came in front of him and Bali Maharaj?
That's the right thing to do. Yes, that is what is supposed to do. But then what happens if you see sometimes in our families, with among our friends, there are some people who think they are helping us by being in a good books of us, but they are not. They are miss out the long term benefit. They only think about, hey, why don't you do this one? This is good for you. Don't worry about the other thing. It doesn't matter. For example, um, between you both, you sisters, right? If your sister, younger sister comes, Akshara comes and tells to you that, Didi, don't study for your exam now. You still have 1 week time to study. Let's go and play games. Let's do a video game. Let's play or watch some cartoon, etc. And which is also you're also very interested. But then she is telling that, study later. Let's do this one, right? Playing and watching and
Yeah.
all those things also fun, but the
Mm-hmm.
exam is also fun. Exam is also important. Both are important. Playing is also important for children. Exam is also important for the children. But
Yes.
someone is coming and telling that do this one, you still have time to do that one, so it's okay. So that person is not telling anything bad to you,
Hmm.
but then you have to evaluate between two of these things. What is right thing to do? The play
Okay.
can the playing thing wait after the exam, or if you don't play now, you can never play after.
Okay.
What's the answer? What's the answer?
You can, if you can first study and you can play again if you don't play right now at this moment.
Exactly. But the exam is gone. It's gone. You
Yes.
cannot. You understand, right? So
Yes,
the
Prabhuji.
Krishna is coming right in front of you and asking for something. Well, here's a test for you. You want to pass this test, or you want to have what you have now, and just enjoy that one,
Okay,
right?
Prabhuji.
Therefore, by giving to Krishna, what he lost, he didn't lose anything. In fact, he got much more greater than Indra's heavenly planet, Sutala, which is multiple times, multi-four times greater than heavenly planet. That's what Bhagavatam says. So he didn't really lose. He gained a lot. But that is when we have to make a right decision in our life. What is important at this point? This one or this one? Can this wait? Can I work on this one? Right? That's what. So Sukracharya, when Sukracharya knows, he knows that this is Vishnu has come. That is what he needs to serve. Bali Maharaj has to serve Vishnu. But then Shukracharya was focusing on the temporary arrangement, especially because he himself want to also gain something. Otherwise, he's not going to be able to continue what he's doing as a guru. Understand?
Yes, yes.
Mm-hmm.
His salary will be cut. He won't have facilities. He'll be thrown out of the heavenly planet. So he also has to become a wandering without any place. So he's also having an internal agenda. So that keeping that internal agenda for his selfish reason, plus also considering benefit of Bali Maharaj in the short term only, he offered this that don't do this one. Make sense?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes. I also
Oh.
have another question. So, in this part of the story where Shukracharya says that don't give the three steps of land, Bali Maharaj says that I cannot take back my promise. So, why is he considered an asura if he follows dharma?
Oh, it is very important that we should understand not only asuras, even in Rakshasas, there are Brahmana Rakshasas, Kshatriya Rakshasas, Shudra Rakshasas, Vaishya Rakshasas. Even in Asuras, there are four classes, right? Sukracharya was also part of this Asuras, but he's a Brahmana. Okay, so everyone, irrespective of where you are born, everyone have their own dharma to follow. Doesn't matter whether you are a asura or not asura. Asura also has their own dharma that they have to follow.
Oh,
Therefore, yes, therefore, the fundamental principle, for example, Bali Maharaj being an asura, he followed a dharma of giving charity to the Brahmanas. Understood? That's how he got all the power. Because if you remember 2 weeks back, we saw this one. Bali Maharaj got his power by the advice he followed from his guru Chukracharya to give
Mm-hmm.
charity to the Brahmanas.
yes.
Therefore, he got all the power. That is the dharma he followed by giving charity to Brahmana, right? Therefore, dharma and things is not only for human or not only for devatas. Every class of people have their own dharma. If you go to, for example, if you go to a forest, deep into the forest, there are people who live in the deep in the forest. They have their own dharma of how they worship, how they do certain things. They have their dharma also, right?
Right, right. Mm-hmm.
So every region, every nation, every people, every society, they all have their own set of dharma that they follow. But the basic dharma is irrespective of whether you fall into asura's group or a brahmana group or any other group, human group or devata group, giving charity, being truthful, and being committed to what you are doing, your duty, all those things are by default one has to do.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so not lying, not giving charity. I mean, giving charity is not only for human; it is for all, everyone. Right? Makes sense.
Yes, it does. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Very good questions.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I also have one question.
Yes, Mataji.
So Sukracharya said to Bali Maharaj that there were six kind of lies.
Mm-hmm.
If you tell, then it will not affect. But you just mentioned that you should be truthful, and that's what we heard from our childhood, that you should be truthful. So all the six kind of lies, and if one goes for that, then someone will not get the karma for that, or it's just for the rakshasas group or demoniac group
No,
they
no,
have this.
that dharma is not only for asuras. First of all, there is asuras are different and rakshas are different. Okay, for example, Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyaksha, they are all asuras. Ravana, Kumbhakarna, they are all rakshasas. So they're totally two different groups. Okay, let's make sure that is not getting confused here. For irrespective of that, whatever Sukracharya says is not just applicable for asuras, it is in general, Sukranidhi. So in general, that is applicable for anyone and everyone to follow. Okay, like how we have Chanakya Nidhi Shastra, Chanakya Nidhi Shastra. Likewise, there are many such shastras as that which gives some guidelines on certain aspect that one can apply in their life. So in that way, whatever Sukracharya said is also supported in other places also. That these are the times where one can lie. So that can be applied. Did I answer your question at all, or did I?
Yes, Prabhu. But if one lies in those situations, then there will be no karma for that.
No, there's no karma on these situations. Okay, so if someone is uh, you know the stories, right? There are stories where mm, a rishi, where this rishi was sitting, and then there's one man who came, a dacoit came, and then he was just there are different stories are there. One story is where a man came and hid into a rishi's ashram, and the dacoits came looking for this man because this man was having a gold coin in his hand, and they want to rob this man. But then he came and hid in the ashram of the muni, and then this dacoits came and asked, did you see a guy who's coming this way by carrying a bag of gold coin? And Rishi saw this person. He knows very well he's hiding in his ashram. But then the Rishi said, well, my eye can see, but it cannot speak. My mouth can speak, but it cannot see. That's the response he gave. Then this man, the people who came, this is what will happen if you speak to saintly people. They went back thinking that this man is not here. Another place where the cow is being saved by a rishi, and the man who came for harming the cow, the rishi said, the cow is not here. So situations like this are not going to give a sinful reaction when you're saving others, when you're doing. I think you're specifically asking about lying between husband and wife or what?
No, Prabhu, in general.
All right, okay.
But
So I
Prabhuji,
think
I had that question. I'm sorry to cut you guys' conversation. So maybe I will come back to that question later once you finish answering Mataji's question.
therefore, these situations of life danger situation, when the people are doing business and they, making, some statements, and then flattering wife, husband flatters wife, marriage, all those things are exceptions. That's all. That's not
Prabhuji,
going to give much of reaction. Yeah.
like follow-up question, then Yudhishthir Maharaj had lied, and because of that, he had to go to hell.
Yes.
So how we can see it from this point?
Yudhishthira Maharaj had to be completely trusting on Krishna's word and simply taken, because there is the Vishesha Dharma, Samanya Dharma. There are two dharmas are there, Vishesha Dharma and Samanya Dharma. When Krishna himself gave an instruction, then everything else goes down. There's nothing much greater than what Krishna instructions are. So rather than taking Krishna's instruction as a supreme order, he was little bent upon keeping up his word of truth, a true man. So that's why when he said also, we know from Mahabharata story that he did mention the elephant, right? Ashwatthama did. And the elephant, when he said elephant, he mentioned elephant in a lower tone voice, and then and then the name with more a louder voice, right? We know, you know the story, correct?
Yes, Prabhu.
So for that reason, he has to. That is a commentary says by acharyas. For that reason, he has to make a quick visit. He didn't stay for long there. He made a quick visit. He was not punished, nothing. But then he just made a quick visit over there. That's one commentary has been told why he has to visit um, the heaven and the hellish planet.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay. Jyoti.
Yes, Prabhuji. Um, as per Dharma, the relationship between um, man and a woman, like husband and wife, should be based upon complete trust and faith. Then why is lying preached, or why is lying upheld between them?
I mean, how do you want me to answer this question?
Then why is that kind of lie like excused? What is the need of lying? In I mean, why is it even mentioned as it will be excused?
No, please understand. I think I went more dramatical as I could in the last session.
Yeah, okay. Maybe then that answers my question.
Right. It's on one particular situation. Such talks are allowed. Not that it is not. It's a blank check that husband can lie to wife and wife can lie to husband all the time. That can be. That's not what we discussed in the last session, right?
Yes, yes, I agree with that. I remember what you mentioned. Okay, so it is a situational lie, you could say, for that specific situation.
Yeah. For example, I'm just pulling on you. Okay, do not take it serious. For example, is Amit comes and says, you ask your Amit, your husband, you're asking your husband that, did you speak to your mom? And then Amit said, yes, I spoke to her this morning. And then what did she say? And then Amit mom already said to Amit that, for example, I haven't spoken to your wife for many days. She has not called me and she doesn't care for me. I'm just making up a story, please
Yes,
forgive
yes,
me.
yes, yes,
All
no
right.
worries.
And then she asked all this question, and Amit said, well, I'll convey the message and she will call you, and the phone cut. But then when you asked Amit is saying that, she just asked for you, and she
Mhm,
has convey the message how you're doing, and that's all. He didn't go to the details of what all she spoke to you. Well, is
mhm.
that good to share or not good to share?
He could definitely mention that she missed her. She missed you, right? Missed talking
And
to you.
you get the point. You get the point,
Mhm,
right? So it is not lying. It is situational, where if the same message can be told later in a different
mhm,
way. If you're
mhm,
already in an agitated situation, your tone is in such a way. What did your mom say? And
mhm,
that point of time, he is going to exactly open up and tell all the information to you how she spoke. Is going to
mhm,
aggravate the situation. At that point of
mhm,
time, it is not that he's lying or hiding something. It is
mhm.
based on the situation. He may open up
Situation.
later in a different
Okay.
format.
Got it, Prabhuji.
So it's a that's how the any relationship for that matter. We have to convey the truth, but the truth that we speak should be palatable to others, which is going to be
Mhm,
very hard. I can tell you. The
mhm,
message has to be palatable, but truth has to be spoken. Both has to happen. That requires a lot of maturity how we speak. Therefore, communication plays a major role for our relationship.
mhm,
Communication has an important role in our relationship. It's not that we can just talk however we want, whatever we want. We really have to improve our communication. As they say, there are courses which speaks about non-violent communication, NVC. You can just do a search on it. It's called NVC, non-violent communication. How to speak, because many times when we speak, we don't even recognize we offend people so much within our relationship, right? Husband and wife, children, just casually throw out something, right? That's a lot of things happens
okay.
which might
Got it,
pile up.
Prabhuji.
Okay, all right.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Any other questions?
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yes, Mataji.
I have a quick question. So you said the Sutala planet is the very opulent planet, right?
You like to go?
No, no, no. So why people are everybody wants to go to Swarga? Then like because the Sutala is more opulent, then people can aspire to go to Sutala only, right?
Yeah, they haven't read Bhagavatam, that's why.
Oh, okay.
No, Krishna is saying that this is more opulent. That does not mean that Indra. It's all opulent place. It doesn't really matter. But Indra has been given that planetary system as in charge of Indraloka, Swargaloka. He's been given that place, and people usually speak about Swargaloka more than any other planetary system. It's everywhere. It's mentioned there. That's all. But Sutala has not been mentioned so much. Maybe that's been kept specifically secret for Bali Maharaj to be there. Otherwise, we all will go there and corrupt that also, like Swargaloka, which is already corrupted.
Thank you, Prabhu.
That is all my speculation. Please don't take. I mean,
Prabhu, there is a message on the chat. If you want to read
okay,
that.
let me read the message. How do okay. Okay, Greg is asking. Last week you mentioned two characters in Shastras who were compared to Bali Maharaj that made Dadichi and Shibi. I think that's what you've been asking. That made sacrifice to Lord Indra. One involved a pigeon, and okay, sure. So yeah, that's what it is. Um, there was a king called Shibi Chakravarti. So Shibi Chakravarti is meant for is charity, right? So if you see the our scriptures, Puranas and Itihasas, charity has played a major role, which makes a person greater. So here there's another example is given by Bali Maharaj that Shibi Chakravarti gave ready to give his life. So what happened one point of time? Shibi Chakravarti was a king, great king. That time, as usual, Indras and party, they wanted to test. They wanted to test how charitable he is. Therefore, they took a form of Yamaraj and Indra. They took a form of a birds. One took a form as a pigeon, and then the other one took a form as a vulture. So the vulture, are you all able to hear me? Yes?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, because there seemed to be a lot of noise from my laptop. Okay, so the vulture was chasing this pigeon, the small bird, and this bird came and took shelter at the feet of Shibi, the king, and it was just under the shelter of the king, and the vulture came and it asked for to return the bird back to him because he wants to have his food. And the king said that, excuse me, I cannot give this bird because this bird, I've given the shelter to the bird. I have to save and protect this bird. Therefore, I can't return this bird to you. And the vulture said, well, it is my food. You cannot take this away. I need to eat something. These are the birds that I eat. Therefore, give my food back. And the king said, well, if you want to eat something, all you're looking for is flesh, right? That's what you eat. And the vulture said, yes. Well, that's not a problem. I can give you my flesh from my body. I can cut and give you whatever the equals of this bird. I can give you my flesh. And then the bird was placed on what do they call a gauge plates where what is it called? Did anyone? I'm just messing.
Prabhuji, vein balance. Its name is vein balance.
Vein balance.
Weighing scale, Prabhu.
Weighing scale.
Okay, very good. Weighing cage, weighing balance, whatever you understood what it is. So one plate they kept the bird, and another plate he was cutting off his flesh and placing on it. As he was placing, the bird was still heavier, and nothing was going down. It was not able to balance it, and he was keep on cutting from his body, his flesh, and placing it. It was not getting equalized at all. Then he finally decided this is not going to work. Rather than cutting each and every part of my body, let me offer myself. So he went and sat right on the plate, and that's when the both thing came equal like this. And the vulture changed to his original form, and the pigeon changed to his original form, and then they blessed this king who was ready to sacrifice his life for a small tiny bird, right? That's the story. When someone can give a life, Bali Maharaj is saying that I can, what's wrong in me giving just a three piece of land? That's all he's asking for. Okay, thank you. Okay, any other questions?
Prabhuji,
Yeah.
so I have a question. When the king was about to give his life for the bird,
Okay, now we move to the Shibi story. Okay, go ahead.
so like so did he did um did he uh
Give his
give,
life?
yes, give his life, or
No, no, he didn't die. But because he was ready to give his life, he was offering his whole body, right? That means he is ready to die, right?
yes?
But Yamaraj and then Indra, they all came to their original form. They changed from bird form to their original form, and they were very happy and they blessed him. He got his body, everything was back again.
Oh, okay.
Happy end. Sukham. Are
Yes,
you happy?
yes, I'm very happy.
I know. Okay. All right. Any other questions? Okay. If there is no questions, probably we can, for next few minutes, we can see the story of Matsya Avatara, and then we can conclude the class for today. And the next class, we'll start with new Canto, Canto 9. This is chapter 24 in the eighth canto, the last chapter, where the incarnation of Matsya. Matsya means the Lord takes different forms, and one of the form that he took was a form of a huge bird. I mean, huge fish, a big fish form. So Parikshit Maharaj was asking to who was Parikshit Maharaj asking these questions to? Children.
Shukadev Goswami Prabhuji.
Very good. Shukadev Goswami. So Shukadev Goswami, he asked him, could you please tell me, you've been telling all these wonderful stories so far. I also heard there is one story where the Lord appeared, very first incarnation, as a fish. I would like to hear that story. Could you please tell me how did the Lord, why did the Lord take the form of a fish? Can you please explain that to me? And Sukadev Goswami said, well, yes, for sure. I will explain this to you. So are you all ready? Yes?
Yes, Prabhuji, I'm always ready to hear some stories from you.
Oh
Yes,
my
Prabhuji.
God. Very good. I haven't heard Anirudh's voice. I know Anirudh joined later. Anirudh, are you there?
Yes, Prabhuji.
How are you, Anirudh?
Good.
Very good. Okay. So what happens is that when Brahma goes to sleep, okay, how many planets are there in total in one universe? Who knows?
Um, a lot.
14 planetary systems.
Yes, there are 14 planetary systems. So what happens is when Brahma goes to sleep, an interesting thing happens. Bhur, Bhuva, Swarga. We are in this planet called Bhuloka. Bhuvarloka is above us. Okay. And above Bhuvarloka is Indrapatna. Amaravati is called Swargaloka. These are the three planets. What happens when Brahma goes to sleep is the three planets is filled with water, will be filled with water. Okay, it will be filled with water. When Brahma gets up, everything comes to normal. And again, whatever regular life continues to happen will happen. That is the daily activities that happens when Brahma goes to sleep and Brahma gets up. Interesting, right? When we go to sleep, nothing happens. We snore. That all happens, right? But when Brahma goes to sleep, three planets get filled with water. It's called Naimitika Pralaya, right? There are pralayas of four types. And the first one is called Nitya Pralaya. Nitya Pralaya means every one of us keep dying. Not keep dying means people keep dying, right? And we see people are dying. That is called Nityam. Nityam is everyday activities. Every day what is happening is people keep dying. That's all happen. And people keep born, take birth. This is a daily thing happens. Hmm? And then that is called Nitya Pralaya. And then another Pralaya is called Naimitika Pralaya. Naimitika Pralaya is where Brahma goes to sleep. When he goes to sleep, these three planets get filled with water. And that is called Naimitika Pralaya. Everyone will be finished when Brahma goes to sleep. Right? Now, is Brahma sleeping or he is awake? Who can tell me? Children?
Prabhuji?
Awake, Prabhu.
Prabhuji, I think Brahma is awake.
That is what someone else was saying? Sarvari or someone, right? Yes, you all agree that
Yes.
Brahma.
Yes.
Yes,
How,
Prabhuji.
how do you say that Brahma is awake?
Because I think that because Pralaya didn't come yet.
Yeah, we are all in Zoom right now.
Yes.
That means we are not filled with water. We are still alive. That means Brahma is awake. He is not slept yet. That means it's not night time for Brahma. It is daytime for Brahma. Okay, it's easy way of understanding. Now Brahma is that what I said was the second one was Naimitika Pralaya. And then Prakrita Pralaya is the third one. Prakrita Pralaya means when Brahma is 100 years old, like all of us live for 100 years. Shastra says we are supposed to live. Not everyone lives 100 years, but we live for 100 years. Likewise, Brahma also lives for 100 years. He for sure lives for 100 years because he doesn't have heart, he will not get a heart problem, cholesterol, liver problem, arthritis problems. Now problem will come there for Brahma. Naturally, he will finish. He will die. I mean, he will leave the body after 100 years. Then 100 years of Brahma's gets over, that pralaya is called Prakrita Pralaya. Means everything that you can think of, see, everything that Prakriti comes from Prakriti, it's all goes back to Vishnu, right? That is called Prakrita Pralaya. So first pralaya is called Nitya Pralaya, second one is called Naimitika Pralaya, and third one is called Prakrita Pralaya, and the fourth pralaya is called Adyantika Pralaya. Adyantika Pralaya means this pralaya happens on individual basis, but this is nothing but a person dies and he returns back to Krishna. That means he attained moksha. That pralaya is called Atyantika Pralaya, where he doesn't come back again. Right? There are four pralayas. So the reason I was just giving this information is because now Bhagavatam speaks about Brahma's going to sleep and pralaya happens. Children, can you tell what pralaya is that Bhagavatam speaks now out of this four pralayas? Is it
Naimika, I think it's Naimika Pralaya.
Naimitika Pralaya? Naimitika Pralaya. So Brahma goes to sleep, and then what happens when he goes to sleep is all get filled with water. Water at that point of time, at the point of time, the Lord appears to save the people from this dissolution. There was a king in Chakshusha Manvantra. There are 14 Manvantras, Manus, right? One of the Manus called Chakshusha. During the Chakshusha Manvanta, there was a personality called Satyavrata, who later became the son of sun god Vivaswan. His name was Shraddha Deva. Shraddha Deva. Shraddha Deva was ruling. He was a king and he was ruling. Satyavrata, Shraddha Deva is all same person. he was ruling the kingdom. One point of time, he went to do his puja, his daily activities near the river called Kritamala. There is a river close by where he goes and do his puja near the river Kritamala. So he was doing a puja that he takes a water and he offers it back. There is a mantra he chants and offers it back. While he was taking the water like this and then ready to offer, he saw an interesting thing. When he scooped his hand, there was a tiny, small, little fish. Very, very, very tiny fish. Small fish. It was in his hand. He saw it was very cute. If it was now, people were, oh my God, I got a Friday fry or fish fry, and you would have people would have taken home and made it a fry, right? Fish fry. But this king was thinking, this is cute little nice fish. If I have to save this fish, therefore let me put the fish back into the water. So he dropped the fish back into the water. The fish popped again into his hand. What's happening here? He put the fish back again. The fish again popped into his hand. What's going on here? And the fish started speaking. Have you guys have? Do you guys have any? Have seen any? You all? Any of you have gone to what is it called? Sea World or something like that? Right? Sea World, right? Where there's a lot of fish and many things. They do shows.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Have you been there?
Not to see but aquariums. Yes, I've seen them, Prabhuji. Yes.
Oh, you've been to aquarium? Have you seen any fish talking to you?
No, Prabhuji.
Hi, Sarvari. Hi, Sarvari. Excuse
Prabhuji,
me. Yes.
Prabhuji,
Yes.
did never see a fish talking to me. Or
Yes.
any
Neither I have seen. I have never
just
seen.
making sounds. Prabhuji,
Yeah.
I never even seen a fish talk, even in a big aquarium with millions of fish. None of them talked.
Not even one spoke to you?
No.
Wow.
They just do make sound.
Oh, they make a lot of sounds. But even those sounds we cannot hear. We need to have a special equipment to hear their sounds, right? But this fish was quite interesting fish. It spoke to the king. It said, my dear king, don't put me back into this water. There are big shark, whales, and lot of big fish. They will kill me. They will eat me. Please, I'm very afraid to go back to this ocean. Could you please save me? And Satyavrata thought, oh, wow, wonderful. Yes, I can save you. So the king took the little fish back to his kingdom. He had some, I don't have anything right now here, a small pot, very small, like a flower vase, small one. And then he dropped the fish into the small vase. And it was cute and very nicely, swimming inside his pot. And the king also left. And next day morning, he got up, and to his surprise, he came and saw the small jug, the small pot. He was surprised to see. He was surprised to see there's a small pot. This fish was completely tight. It's completely end to end. It was end to end. Rukmini came and gave this to me. So it was completely tight inside. Then the fish started speaking that, my dear king, this is too small a pot. Can you give me something bigger than this? And then the king made a bigger, what is it called? A small, what do they call? They put the fish into a aqua. Anyone can help me
Fish
here?
tank, Prabhuji.
Huh?
An aquarium.
Fish tank.
Fish tank. So it's so very easy. I don't even know this simple thing. So fish tank. He made a small, nice fish tank, and he dropped the fish inside. And the king went to do his duties, whatever he needs to do, and he came back. To his surprise, the entire fish tank was only that one fish. It grew so big. And the fish said, my dear king, this is very uncomfortable for me. Could you please take me out of this one? I need a bigger space. And the king thought, okay, this fish is growing so fast. So he took the fish, and there was a bigger place, a big vessel or something. He dropped there. It grew bigger than the vessel. Then the fish requested him to give him a better place. Then he put him in a pond, close by pond. Now it became much bigger than the pond. Then he need a better place. Then the king took the fish. Don't, please, after this, do not ask me a question. How did the king carry the fish? I don't have the answer. Okay. Somehow he managed to carry the fish. He made some arrangement that those details I don't know. Please don't ask me that question. So the king took the fish and put it in a river. It became much bigger than that place. Then finally the king has to take the fish to the ocean and drop into the ocean. And then the king spoke to the fish. You cannot be an ordinary fish. You must be someone very special. Please reveal yourself. Who are you? Are you the Supreme Lord? Please reveal yourself. And then this fish started speaking. He said, my dear king, I am the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Remember that within 7 days, right from now, Pralaya is going to come. That means everything will be filled with water. Therefore, be prepared. Gather all your people, collect the herbs, collect whatever you need to save and preserve until the duration of this pralaya gets over. Get ready. I will come back again. At that point of time, I will also provide you a big ship right here. It will come now. Fill the ship with all the thing that you need and use Vasuki, the serpent, long serpent. Tie that boat. This is not a small boat, it's a big ship. Tie the ship to the horn, to my horn. There'll be a horn on me. You can tie it, and I will save you all until Brahma gets up in the morning, where dissolution will be over. And the fish disappeared. The fish disappeared. And soon, king could see from a distance a ship was coming, a huge ship, right? And then the king started, as per the instruction has been given by the Supreme Lord, the king started filling this boat with herbs and seeds and whatever is needed to be preserved, to cultivate again after the pralaya is over. So everything was filled. The boat was completely filled. And to surprise, on the seventh day, the water was raising and coming. That time he could see this huge fish, the big fish. And then the king used the Vasuki and tied the boat to the horns, that one horn on the fish top. And then the fish started, everyone got into this boat, big boat, and then the fish started moving, carrying this boat along. This went on throughout by saving the people with this king. And then at the end of the pralaya, everything was settled, and the Supreme Lord Matsya Avatar also went back, disappeared, and the life became normal at that point of time. The king, completely meditating on this beautiful form of Krishna, worshipped and praised this fish, Supreme Narayana, in the form of Matsya. And with that, we are completing Canto 8. Canto 8 comes to an end, and next, what we are going to see is Canto 9. This Canto 9 is some very interesting chapters, and very nice things are coming up in Canto 9, where you will see a story of Ambarish Maharaja. Before Ambarish Maharaja's story, there are other stories, stories also, short stories, which is very interesting. We'll see those things also. And then after that, Ramachandra, Rama story will be there. Parasurama story will be there. And then Yayati, King Yayati, his dynasty and his stories will be narrated, which will lead to Krishna, right? Krishna. Krishna is going to appear. And that is how ninth canto ends. And then starting 10th canto is all about only Krishna. Krishna, 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 Krishna. For rest of Bhagavatam, pretty much we can say that's what is going to happen from 10th canto. With that said, we can close it. We'll start canto 9 from next session if that is all okay with you. But we can still open up for question and answer if there is anything that you want to ask.
Prabhuji, Prabhuji.
Yes. Yes.
Um, so I have a question. Can a fish also have a horn?
Fish can also have what?
A horn, like Matsya had.
Well, I see you playing with some horse which has a horn. You believe in that, right? What is it called? As a pony or something, right? What is it called?
Unicorn.
Huh?
Unicorn.
Unicorn. Sorry, unicorn. When you believe that a horse can have a horn, can't Krishna have appear in a fish form and have a horn? Can he or not?
Yes.
Prabhuji,
But I should. I have telling that now can a fish now have a horn?
I mean, we haven't seen anything like that. There could be.
Prabhuji,
One second, hold on. So I haven't seen personally, but there could be something we don't know, right? We haven't seen everything, the entire world. I have not watched the Discovery Channel fully yet, so I don't know. Maybe or may not. I don't know, Rukmini.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, maybe
Prabhuji.
Sarvari has a point to add to your question, maybe.
yes, Prabhuji. There's a fish in the Antarctic place, cold place, narwhal, a fish with a horn. It's not really horn, but it looks like it has a horn.
Okay, it looks like a horn. Okay, thank you. There you go. Rukmini, you can contact Sarvari for more details after the class.
Thank you, Sarvari. Thank you, Sarvari, for answering my question. Hare Krishna.
Welcome, Rukmini. Hare Krishna.
Okay, what are the questions we have or comments?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, I have a question.
Yes,
So, so the Lord grew up in different sizes, right, Prabhu? Like, from small fish to like bigger fish. So, is there any reasoning behind it, Prabhu?
it's just there's no any. I mean, I don't know the reason behind it.
I mean,
I
is
have
there
not read any reasons as far as I know, but this was happening very fast sooner. It's just showing a supremacy, maybe. If that's all.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yes, Mataji.
Uh, what is the reason?
One second. Sorry, one second. Do you have anything to share, Ravi Prabhu?
Sorry.
Did you hear anything you want to share to every one of us? Maybe that I don't know.
Oh, no, Prabhu, I just want to know. Sorry. Is it a
Okay.
Lord's Leela or anything, any reasoning behind it? Like, to teach something to be.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I haven't heard
Okay,
anything at least. Maybe we have to do some research and find out if there's any commentaries or any reasons behind it.
okay, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu.
Okay, Hari Puja Mataji.
Yes, Prabhuji. Like, what is the reason appearance about Matsya Avatar, Prabhu? All other avatars we can see some reasons, right? To save the devotees.
So, in the Bhagavatam, there is one particular uh, section in this particular story. It says that Brahma executes the creation based on with the help of Vedas, with the Vedas. So there are different versions of this particular story. One is that what is said is there is one demon called Hayagriva, and he came and he stole all this Vedas, and then he hid it. And to protect the Vedas, the Lord appeared so that he can save the Vedas and save the creation as well, and give the Vedas back to Brahma. That's one story. Another story is Madhu Kaitaba. There are two demons called Madhu Kaitaba, and they also came and gave a hard time to Brahma. There's another version of the story. So to protect Brahma and Vedas from those demons, again the Lord have to take this form and protect the Vedas, which was hidden by these demons also. So those are some versions of stories that we see why the Lord takes Matsya Avatar, especially to assist Brahma in his creation, especially, and save the Vedas.
So in our story today, that king only saved that Vedas, Prabhuji.
Yeah, I mean, it's not, there's no mention of whether the king saved the Vedas or not, but it implies that Matsya saved the
Oh,
Vedas. Yeah, it has no any direct mention of, the king went and looked for the Vedas and collected and kept it in the boat. It's not something like that. It's not been mentioned any of those things. It implies that the Lord, by doing these activities, the Lord saved the Vedas.
thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay.
Prabhu, I
Abu,
have a question.
Yes. Go for it.
Anirudh, you want to go first?
okay. There is actually another creature with horns called the two-horned narwhal.
Sorry, when you said Anirudh, some noise came. I didn't capture the first thing you said. Can you repeat?
Well, there's another creature in the Arctic called the two-horned narwhal.
Oh, really? There is another creature with two horns
Yeah, it's a fish in the Arctic Ocean.
in the Arctic Ocean? Oh my gosh. A lot of things that I don't know. You all know so much information.
Very
Very
much,
good.
Anirudh, for answering my question too, Krishna.
Okay. A lot of nice exchanges is going on here between children. Wonderful. Okay, Shivangi Mataji.
Prabhuji, so for every Naimitika Pralay, Matsya Avatar appears. So every
Mataji,
time.
different, not necessarily, but different manvantra, different avatars repeat, different times. It may not repeat. So, for example, um, Varaha avatar appeared in in Bhagavatam itself is mentioned couple of times in different manvantra manus. Varaha appear differently, meaning in the same form but different situation. Like that, it appears on different manus. Yes and no, not necessarily in all the times.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah. But again, it's very hard to, as we cannot simply say if it's appearing, not appear also, right? So choice, it is Krishna's wish. Some say that the Matsya avatar appears in every Chaturyuga. Chaturyuga is not every Chaturyuga, meaning every time when Brahma goes to sleep. Some places it says that he appears. Sometimes not necessary. So different versions are there also on that one.
Prabhuji, is there any demon that causes the flood?
There is no any demon that causes the flood. There is one nice devata who causes the flood. That is Indra, right? Govardhan Leela, we saw that. We read, correct? He caused a big flood in Vrindavan. But other than that, I don't know any demons who cause the flood. If they want to, they can do it. They are powerful. They can even do that. But I don't know any stories like that. Anirudh.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah, it is nice to see if once in a while you open on your videos. At least we can see you. At least children. Happy to see your face. Everyone will be happy to see your faces than looking at my face, scary face. There you go, Rukmini. I can see.
Prabhuji,
How
Yes.
can like every derivation or pralay happened in Satya Yuga?
Sorry, I didn't catch the question. One more time.
How can the derivation or the pralay happened in Satya Yuga?
Satya Yuga. It doesn't say Satya Yuga. Oh, you're talking about this particular event?
Yeah,
Very, very smart question, Gauransh, right?
it's Bhavya Prabhuji.
Bhavya?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Is it Bhavya, did you ask this question or your dad is prompting you to ask this question?
I asked it.
But good, very smart question. Very smart question. This particular thing, it does not say which, whether it's Satya Yuga, Krita Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, or Kali Yuga. It doesn't mention any of those things, but that is when it happened. Okay, that's all the answer is. Very good question, though. You're really getting into the details of it.
Thank you.
So the point here is usually when Brahma goes to sleep, it would be not a mismatch. It would be perfectly correct when it ends. You know, the point here is when Brahma goes to sleep. That is what we have to take it. So I don't know if it is exactly at that point Satya Yuga or it's exactly at the end of Kali Yuga. That time I don't know, but it's the end of Brahma's daytime. Therefore, Pralaya happened.
Prabhuji?
Okay, Bhavya? One second, Bhavya.
Yes, Prabhuji.
I'm very impressed by that question. Thank you. Yes, Rukmini.
Um, so, um, so when Brahma goes to sleep, then what? The devatas, what the three planets, what it would be flooded to.
So what happens is in Indraloka, when the things are getting flooded, they move up up the planet. They go to the above planet and stay there until everything settles, and then they come back. Okay, that's how it happens. They
And
go there, take shelter of the previous the higher planet, and then be there, and then come back again.
and the first there's four things, right? Four pralaya, right? So
Yeah, four pralayas.
the first one, so the first one is like this prayer when um we get old and we,
Die.
yes,
Hmm.
that the that is only the first pralaya, right?
Yeah, pralaya means you're losing and going to the previous state. That is called pralaya. So when a person dies, and that is also called pralaya, but that is very short term, right? That is why it's called. It happens all the time. That is why it's called nitya pralaya.
So, but you did say that if pralaya, the pralaya, then if pralaya come, then we would and we will take another birth, right?
Yes.
But in Nitya Pralaya, we are going back to Godhead. How?
No, 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 no. Nitya pralaya means constantly happening. A person dies and born again, lives for some time, dies again. Dying and birth is constantly happening. Okay,
Oh,
that is Nitya Pralaya. Adyantika Pralaya, a person dies and does not take birth again, he goes back to Krishna. That's called Adyantika Pralaya. In other words, moksha.
so but in the Adyantika Pralaya, in the word is Pralaya, then I think like Pralaya word means burning back, right?
Hmm. Understand the term pralaya means alaya, layam. Layam means from one stage going to the previous stage is called layam. Okay. For example, let me take something. So I have, you gave me this one. This, can you see this?
Yes, I can see it.
What is this made of?
Um,
Look here, look here. What is it made of?
um,
You don't
plastic.
know. Plastic, which means earth, right? It's a matter, earth.
Earth. Earth.
Okay. So if, can I break this, Rukmini?
Oh,
Okay. I'm not going to break it. So if I break it and make it into powder, right? I'm not going to do it. So that means this one in this form is going to go back to its original form before this form. And that is called layam. Layam means going to the previous stage is called layam. From current to original. Original means where it came from. And that is called layam. And that is what alayam means also. Does anyone know what alayam means? What is alayam? Alayam?
home,
Huh?
home, home.
Nine, nine, nine. No, no, no. Alayam. What is alayam? Anyone?
Cup.
Temple. Thank you. Thank you. Hema Mataji said temple. Alayam means temple. Layam means when it is called alayam because we are going back to our original state where we came from. And that is called alayam, temple. Pralayam means we from this stage we leave our body and everything goes back to its previous stage, and that is called pralayam. From one stage to where it came from is called pralayam. So pralayam is not meaning that destruction. Where pralayam means going from current state to the karana means a cause, going back to its previous state. That is called pralayam. We are all part and parcel of Krishna. We are going back to Krishna.
That means when that pralayam came, that then it's cause of karma, right? So if we do this thing, then we would go to Yamraj, the hell.
What is the question again?
So the 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 going back to Godhead one, um, it's caused our karma, right? So if we do something bad, then so we would go to hell. If we do something good, then we would go to heaven. If we do something like bhakti, then we would go to Godhead.
Yes, correct. Correct.
Thank you, Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Okay. Oh, I totally, yeah. So we only have 5 minutes. Shivangi Mataji, already Damodara Ashtakam is being done by Sharvari and Akshara when we started the class. So they did Damodara Ashtakam.
Oh,
So we
very
can, yeah, Mataji. So we can skip Damodara Ashtakam. We just have 4 minutes left and we can just have any questions if anyone wants to have any
Prabhuji,
question.
I have another question. So it's not related to the story. It's basically by looking at material knowledge, we notice that there are different types of galaxies, and in each galaxy there are different types of universes. So how is that related to Vedic cosmology?
I can send you a video because there are what we are reading in schools, material science, those planets is not equal to the planets that we are seeing here, the 14 planetary system, right? It's totally two different viewpoint. Material science has this, 9 planets or 8 planets or 10 planets, and it keeps changing. This number keeps changing often, but that is not matching with this one, and that is different and this is different. Therefore when you see cosmic planetary system, cosmic cosmology, right, Vedic cosmology, when that perspective, those planetary system we cannot even perceive and see through telescope, but they all exist. The distance has been given, everything has been given, but we cannot perceive with telescope, or we cannot just simply travel, but those all exist. So what we are seeing in schools and reading in schools are simple planet which can be seen to telescope, and we can, people travel and all those things they say, but not to this planetary system. They are two different things. Okay, Bhavya?
Okay, Prabhuji.
And there are some nice videos also you can search on this Vedic cosmology in YouTube for more information. Okay, with that said, 2 minutes left. We are in the last leg of Chaturmasya or Kartik month, Damodar month. 1 week left. Um, so if you remember when we before started this Chaturmasya, we sent you all a, a link where you can log your chanting. So we will, at the end of 1 week, one more week left. So please make sure you're all logging your extra chanting or whatever the chanting that you're doing into that Excel sheet that Ravi Prabhu has put. So we'll take a printout of that one after the Chaturmasya and present it to Krishna Balaram at our temple with your name as an offering to them. That's one thing. And charting Wednesday is Bhishma Panchaka. Bhishma Panchaka is last 5 days of Chaturmasya, right? Last 5 days starting from Wednesday, Ekadeshi. Wednesday is Ekadeshi. So kindly focus as much as you could in more of devotional aspect, devotional service, and be more involved. Uh, it'll be very nice to do that one in the last 5 days, especially if you haven't, if you want to catch up, you missed it, anything, you can do that starting Wednesday also. With that said, pretty much I'm done. If
So,
back
Prabhu,
to
there's a question. So, those people who have in the beginning started logging on, then they select off not logging, but they continue to perform these services or rounds. Can they put down that they've been
yes, yeah,
doing it every day? How many
yeah,
sessions? How many japas and all that? Is
yes,
that okay?
yes, yeah, yeah. Please let them go ahead and update it.
Mhm.
Um, you know,
But
that's
I
fine.
think you cannot go back on every day to put, say, like suppose I have not really logged on for a month for various reasons, or
Yeah,
somebody else did not log on for 2 months.
right. So you can just put a total number,
Okay,
and then at the by the end of this week,
okay,
and we can take that number, total it under your name, and then we can take that number.
okay, Prabhu. Thank you.
Okay. I think we are pretty much done, Ashok Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu. I don't have anything else to add.
Okay, let's enter into Canto 9 next Saturday. Exciting canto with another beautiful pastimes and stories of great souls. So meet you all next Saturday then. Hare Krishna.